Good morning. My name is Sean Webb. I'm your Director of Community Engagement and the Educational Foundation for Desert Sands Unified School District, and you are watching Classroom Conversations. We are the community engagement show for Desert Sands, where we highlight everything great going on in our community, our schools, and especially with our staff. And we got a treat for us today. We've got a visitor joining us. Unfortunately, Chef Mary, she sent me a picture she shared with you guys. She's going to be on vacation the rest of the week. She's got the view of a lovely beach. But I've got another co-host who's going to join us here shortly, and I'll share that in a second. But before we move on, I want to make sure to go ahead and thank all of our sponsors that make this show possible. Desert Sands Unified School District. Hey, you employ me. Thank you very much. The foundation staff who went ahead and wrote a community grant with the City of Indio. Thank you both. Prep Sports Weekly. Kevin Pillow, you are a true friend of the foundation, and we love that you have our halftime show scheduled for all the falls, as well as CoachellaValley.com. Craig Campbell. We don't have the touch in the community without your feed to your Facebook page. So thank you for your sponsorship and your friendship to K-12 education. But before I move on, I want to go ahead and read our mission statement. The Desert Sands Educational Foundation secures funding and awards money to provide supplemental resources that enrich and enhance student learning in Desert Sands Unified School District. And their vision statement. In partnership with public and private sectors, Desert Sands Educational Foundation financially supports creative and innovative programs that enrich and enhance the educational experience in the academics, the arts, and extracurricular activities that engage all students and staff in DSUSD. Okay, so why don't we go ahead? I'm going to bring on our mystery guest today, who's going to be joining us, who's newly one of our most recent award winners in the district. We're going to have with us Mr. Kevin Bebo. Good morning, Kevin. How are you?
Hey, good morning. I'm doing great, Sean.
Excellent. So I'll say I already let the cat out of the bag. I said one of our newest award winners. Why don't you tell us what happened last night with you?
Well, last night I was very fortunate to be recognized as a inspiring leadership award winner, or well, it was through One Future Coachella Valley. I'm just not really a winner, and that's not what I mean, but to be recognized in that capacity was gigantic, and I really appreciated the honor, and it was a fun evening last night to be there with Dr. Mae Volmar and some of the board members. We had a good time, and so I really appreciated the opportunity to participate in the event.
Oh no, it was awesome. I was able to watch via Zoom. I saw it, and it was pretty amazing to see your family was watching too. And I saw people from you had your family from LA watching, as well as your family that's over on the East Coast, and then some in the Midwest. It's just pretty amazing to see all that.
Yeah, the kids are pretty spread out. My oldest daughter is in New York, in Brooklyn. Oh, there we go. And my eldest son is in LA, and then my second son is in Reno. So they were all tuning in from their homes, and then of course our kids at home were watching as well. So it was fun. We had a fun night.
Yeah, so this is One Future Coachella Valley. For our viewers that are watching for the first time, maybe if you could tell them a little bit, what is One Future Coachella Valley, and what do they represent and so forth?
So One Future Coachella Valley is a group here in Coachella that helps organize all of the efforts that we put into education around student success. And so that's not just their success in getting ready for and going through college, through things like supporting the FAFSA process and counseling and applications and all that, but also on the career side. So there's a variety of different groups that get together to collaborate on how we can support our students, not just through college, but beyond college into a career after that.
Okay. No, it was pretty awesome to watch the whole presentation last night. And I'll tell you, the first person who led off the bat, Kaylee, was a student of mine at La Quinta. I'm not sure if you're even aware of that, who led off with the singing and so forth. She was a student of mine over there, and along the lines where we would hold events over at La Quinta, and she would sing for us the national anthem, to doing old rock and roll, to you name it, jazz hits. She was just absolutely amazing. So I love seeing a former student receive an award too, and they do an amazing job. And Kevin, congratulations to you. I think it's just fantastic.
I appreciate it. I owe this to a lot of people that have helped support me along the way and support me every day in the work that we do here in Desert Sands. And so I mentioned last night that Dr. Deanna Killian over Palm Springs and Ruth Brody over Coachella Valley, the three of us have worked together for quite a long time in this effort. And not just them, but, the way the structure works here in Desert Sands, I work with a team of CT assistant principals at each one of the school sites, and their efforts are incredible. And the things that they do to actually, both of us, both you and I, Sean, fulfilled that role in a previous professional life, and we know how hard that is. And so I also really appreciate them. In fact, I want to mention them because I appreciate them that much. So Rich Pimentel is the assistant principal of CTE over at Indio High School. Ashley Shantz is the assistant principal at La Quinta High School for CTE. Sarit Seg for Palm Desert High School. Sharon Kalkowski at Shadow Hills High School, and Fernando Rodriguez over at Amistad. We are a strong team, and it is the effort of all of us together that really makes the success that we experience, that our CTE students experience in their programs, and then beyond that into their careers.
Yeah, geez, I love that world. I love being able to interact with you guys all the time, and as well as highlight that world whenever I can in the community. It's just an easy thing to do. So you guys, as I always say, I got the best job in the world. The best job in the world that I have is just being able to highlight all the great things, and you make that very simple for me. So thank you, Kevin, and that's awesome with your team.
Well, thank you, Sean, and that's we do have a great job, and the fact that we get to work together because we're such good friends is fun too.
Yeah, exactly. So, Kevin, if you don't mind, I'm going to keep you on for the rest of the classroom conversations here. Talk about the highlights and what's going on in the district and so forth. So I'll share with you, anybody that shares a flyer with me direct, I go ahead and I put it on classroom conversation. So feel free to tell your CTAPs that as well. But I'm not sure if you're aware, but now until April 13th, La Quinta High School teamed up with Find Food Bank. If you remember, Alyssa, one of your public service academy students from La Quinta High, who graduated a couple of years ago, she started this process and it's continued on. She graduated. She's at, I believe she's at Cal State San Marcos, but this has continued on, and they're having a food drive going on. So pretty amazing there. Let's see, what else do we have going on here? Growing Up Digital. I was just talking to Tiffany, one of your counterparts in Ed Services. They'll be having that on Wednesday, April 6th. That's going on, let's see, upstairs in room 203 in Deck North. Do you have any more details about what this is all about, Kevin?
I do not. Okay. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to Tiffany that I do not.
No problem. So I know that I actually knew what's going on, so I was just trying to prompt some questions here. No problem. But I'll tell you what it is for you that, just say you're giving your son or daughter their cell phone for the first time, right? Or they're getting their tablet for the first time in the classroom, or their Chromebook. So what this class is going to do is offer an opportunity for parents to know how to keep safe on the internet with the kids, how to have student safety, talk about social media, introduce parents to this. I know that I love my dad to death. He wasn't too keen on phones and so forth, so it took him a while to learn how to text. I can only imagine there's still parents the same way. So Wednesday, April 6th, this is an opportunity for our families to learn more about these types of things. And this is designed for families, so we recommend that you please come. Yeah, so got that going on here. Let's see here. I've saved the date. Thank you, the African American Parent Advisory Committee. They have a celebration coming up on Friday, May 13th. Kevin, this is, I'm not sure if you're aware, this is one of our committees that we have in the district here. And they work directly with the foundation where they are under our umbrella. And you can even share this with some of your APs as well that you work with. If they don't have a way of fundraising or bringing in funds like the AAPAC has done, they work under the umbrella of the foundation. We therefore set up a website for them for fundraising. We set up a text to donate area for fundraising. And the only thing that the foundation charges is the fees that the website charges us. So it's a very, very, it's a great pass-through opportunity. So please inform your CTAPs, but this event's going on May 13th. So that's that. Let's see here. Rehearsal for Murder. You know what? This was supposed to take place last week at Shadow Hills, and we all know what happened there, right? Yeah, exactly. They had the little mishap with a gas leak. It was an amazing day where we were able to work with Cal Fire, Indio Police, all the different entities over in Indio to help out and make sure that all our students were safe. But they rescheduled that for this weekend because this was supposed to be last weekend. Rehearsal for Murder. This is a play that's going on over at Shadow Hills High School. I know that they've been working hard at this, so we encourage you, please come. They're only $5 for tickets. Show on Friday and Saturday. Let's see, what else do we have here, Mr. Bebo? Looking through windows, I'm sure you've seen the beautiful artwork all throughout the district. This is going on. It started up March 17th and it'll continue on through the end of the school year. We actually are going to have some student artists on with us, hopefully next week. Maybe you could tell a little bit about your daughter and what she did.
Yeah, actually, two of my daughters had work that was displayed at the art show. My youngest, Charlotte, who's a student over at Ford, they created a quilt, and so one of her squares is there included in the quilt. My daughter, Emma, who is a junior over at Horizon, she created a dress that is displayed there. It is a period piece. Her goal is to become a designer for film, for period film. So this one, and I'm not sure of all the details, and she's probably not happy that I don't have them memorized, but this dress was designed to be a historical dress. So it's made in the style of I want to say it's like 18th century. It's got all kinds of hand embroidery. It's fun, and it's been a good opportunity for her because people that came and saw that here within the district then gave her the opportunity to work all of last week with Fashion Week on El Paseo. So she worked as an intern 6 nights in a row and got to work with the models and be there for all of the shows and work with the folks over at FITM. And so that led to a conversation with FITM about her potentially becoming a student there at some point down the road. So she's very excited. So, and not just that, but all of the art that's up is incredible. We have amazing artists in our school district here, and the art teachers that help and guide them and support them through the process do remarkable work. I highly encourage folks to come down and to visit and take a look at some of that artwork.
I agree 100%. I love just walking through the hallways. And as I've been sharing with people and so forth, is as you walk through the hallways, there's over 1,000 pieces of art on display. And you could literally, so just the long hallway that goes from K King Media over the main spine of the district office, there's over 200 pieces there. And occasionally I'll just stand there and just look.
Yeah.
And you can literally just look at the beautiful artwork that our students have created. So I just got to applaud everybody that participated with that. It was a district-wide event, and our own Mary Perry came from her mind up here, and as well as with some other art teachers. So fantastic.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So Kevin, all of the great things that we're talking about right now, did you know that we have a distribution system called PeachGR?
I did. I do know about that. Can I add something to the list of events that we're talking about? This is kind of improvised.
Yeah, okay. Well, no problem. Go ahead.
So we have also on April 6th through the One Future Coachella Valley business engagement partners meeting. We're having a valley-wide comprehensive local needs assessment opportunity where myself, Palm Springs Unified, Coachella, and COD will all be presenting data on their CTE programs as part of our federal Perkins funding application process. And if we'd like to get all of our community partners involved in this process, and so that if there's anybody that's watching that would like to be invited, it will be on Zoom. You can reach out to me. You can send me an email. You can get me on Twitter. But would love to invite anybody else. Or if you're just interested, you can attend that event on the 6th. I can still send you the slide deck of information and the survey that goes along with it. The way the process works is that we as a CTE team take a look at, we do a self-evaluation and assessment, and we look for where our needs are. And then we look at the data. We take a look at how many students and from what different special populations are involved in our programs. And then we set a list of priorities. But where we need help is in setting those priorities. What's the most important place for us to focus our resources moving forward? So if you'd like to be a part of that conversation, love to invite you. And if you can make the meeting on April 6th, I can send you an invite. Or if you would just like to take a look at the data that we've got and contribute that way, I can share that as well.
Yeah, and if you want to get a hold of Mr. Bebo, here is his social media information, as well as if you want to email, it's just kevin.bebo@desertsands.us. And Kevin, as we always do, whenever we have comments and guests and so forth, one of our friends, Rob Greer from Palm Desert High School, did a great job. I'm assuming that's going direct to you, so great job with everything, Kevin.
Thank you, Big Rob. Appreciate that.
There we go. So I want to just real quick go back to so parents can find PeachGR and so forth. If you go to our website, it talks about all the great activities that are going on in the district. You just go ahead and scroll across. You see all the big things on our banner here. One thing that I'm not sure if you work, Kevin, but Vaccination Clinics, we have a monthly clinic now. Yeah, we have a monthly clinic. I believe the next one's going to be later in the month of April, and we have one in May. But we have a monthly clinic. But let me go ahead and get to the area that talks about our PeachGR. So you can come down here to the quick links, click PeachGR. And at PHR, this is where we get all our district approved flyers. This is information that is sent to us by our school sites, as well as some people in the community that they can share those flyers on the different school websites. So let's see here. Mr. Bebo, give me a school and we'll pull up their flyers and see what they have going on to their families.
Well, I mentioned before that I have a daughter at Ford Elementary. Let's take a look at that.
Okay, let's see what Mr. Preston has going on over there. So as I was sharing with PHR, these are flyers that staff can go ahead and submit to us, and they can go ahead and submit to have them just go to their school or multiple school sites. But these are all the different flyers that are available here at Gerald Ford Elementary. They are advertising everything from the Mother's Day activities that are going on over with the AVID program. This is at Indio, where you can actually order Mother's Day aprons, which is pretty cool, for those of you that are looking for an option for Mother's Day. But then it even talks about Growing Up Digital. That's where I was able to grab this flyer that I shared with you earlier. Unfortunately, it's not opening right now. But then like the La Quinta High School Drive, they have that there too. But Desert Sands Mental Health Student Services, anything and everything that's going on in the district that you want to share with our students and staff, you can find here. Activities going on, you can find here. Let's see. Why don't we go ahead and pick middle school? Give me a middle school, Mr. Bebo.
Let's go with John Glenn.
Okay, John Glenn Middle School. Let's see here. Glenn Middle. You click on here. This is the information that they have going on. And you see some of the flyers are the same because these school sites and these organizations ask to be distributed district-wide. As well as you can even sort them by upcoming events. Or we could sort it by school flyers first, and it goes by school flyer. Like this is the John Glenn newsletter that they had for the month of March. And one of the requirements that you have to do with PHR is, I'm not sure if you're aware, Mr. Bebo, but they have to submit it in English and in Spanish. So all of our families are available to have access. Yeah, so we have all these different available things for people to have access and know what's going on in our community as well as our school sites. Yeah. So, Mr. Bebo, you feel like you just learned how to use PHR, I hope?
I do. And, as a parent of students in the school district, it is a very handy resource to keep involved and communicating back and forth all the good information that we need to know about. So PHR is great.
Yeah, definitely. And, I won't keep you much longer, Mr. Bebo, here. I do want to highlight again, as I do on our social media, I want to pull up our Facebook page. So yesterday was a pretty big day in Desert Sands. Riverside County Office of Education was visiting with us. I don't know if you've met Craig over there. Basically, he's their Mary Perry for the county office. And he was over here with his video team. You want to talk about a production team. They showed up with one of our beautiful CTE vans, just loaded with their own equipment, and 3 guys come out of it. They have all their equipment to film the video that they're making for the state of the county where they're going to honor Dan Capello. So there you had a teacher that was there. You have Mr. Bailey that was interviewed. That's Craig right there in the holding the script, scripted questions and so forth. You have a student that talked about Mr. Capello in regards to school lunches and so forth, as well as, yes, that's another staff member from Nutritional Services. But that took place yesterday. That took place all day. It was pretty cool and special to watch. I had the opportunity to be there in the beginning as well as the end. Yeah. You'd be amazed when you saw that rig that he showed up with. They were able to pull it right out of the van, roll it right over to the elevator, but then they found out it was too big for the elevator, and they had to empty off 1,000 pounds worth of equipment, bringing it up and down the elevator. That's how much stuff he came prepared. It was just like a grab and go. It was pretty amazing to see everything that Craig had. Yeah. And then obviously we had highlighted classroom conversations here. But yeah, Mr. Bebo, once again, congratulations for all the great things you do for Desert Sands. Thank you very much. Pretty awesome what you got going on and so forth. I love what you got with the CTE program. I envy your program. I love all the programs, the opportunities that you provide our students. So thank you very much for that.
I'm very thankful to be able to serve in this role and to work with the school district is just amazing. And, all the people that we get to work with every day, Sean, we're really lucky. We've got a great crew.
Yeah, I agree completely. So typically when we have a guest co-host with us, I let them close us out. Would you like to go ahead and close us out? After I remind everybody, we'll be back to you on Tuesday at 9:00 with Classroom Conversations. Mr. Bebo, why don't you close us out for the day?
You really put me on the spot.
I love it.
I'd love to have some Okay, all right. So I'm a big fan of Ted Lasso, which is a show on Apple Plus, and I have this that was given to me from a colleague here.
Okay.
One of Ted's one of the things he says a lot: be curious, not judgmental. And so, as you go through your day to day, there's some words of wisdom.
There you go. Kevin, always a pleasure. I'm sure I'll see you later today, but
Okay.
we'll talk to you later. Have a good one, guys.
All right, take care now.
See ya. All right. We're no longer